There is nothing I love more than finding a use for an object that hasn't been used in a really long time, giving it a second life. As you know, it's something I do a lot on this channel. And making use of all the DIY supplies that I have hoarded over the years because I just can't bring myself to throw it away, thinking someday I might be able to use it. And today is that day. The object for DIY? You may have seen this in the background in a lot of my videos. It's just been lurking for a while because this is an idea I've had for a really long time now. So this lovely lamp is something I've had since my childhood, I'd say. Like since I was but a wee Jacqueline. I've had this lamp, I've held on to it. It's never really been my style, but you know, waste not, want not. I'm not gonna toss it out just because it's not like aesthetically my look. But there's this DIY that I just completely fell in love with, and that has been at the back of my mind for a really long time now. And today is the day that I'm finally gonna do it. So we are going to give this guy a facelift. Remember that one year when I was so into crocheting everything and I did all these knit crafts? I think that was last year actually. So I still have so much yarn that we can make use of for this project. The idea seems super simple in my head, but the thing is, it always seems super simple until I start to do it and realize how complicated it actually is. But this time, I think it might actually be really simple. So the thing that I want to do is first, I'm gonna remove this lampshade, create a beautiful striped pattern. It's almost gonna look like a woven lamp sort of situation here. I thought I had more yarn than this, but it turns out all I have is green and red. It's giving very Merry Christmas vibes. So maybe we'll just use the one green and hope we have enough. I would really, really like to not have to make a trip to the yarn store and grab more yarn because that would defeat the purpose of this project. But you know what? Let's get started on what we can handle right now, which is dismantling this lampshade. Huh. Oh, no. I see. I've run into my first problem. I thought that the whole frame of the lampshade was one piece. I don't know why. There is nothing inside that would indicate this. This bottom ring comes completely off. It was just being held together by this little structure right here, which I will not be using in my new lamp. Why am I still going? Nobody knows. We will figure it out. This is just so satisfying though. New problem. I need to figure out a way to connect these two so I still have my lamp base to do my DIY on. Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put you? You are not here. Ah, there you are. I knew I had this somewhere. So I have this wire that I've kept from when I used to make wire jewelry in my high school years. I told you, hoarder. So what I need to do right now is attach it together because obviously, apparently, it comes in two separate pieces. So I want to attach it together so I can start weaving the yarn across to make my woven lampshade. I'm gonna try to find the thickest gauge I have and then see if I can make this work. Around, right? I've put it back on the lamp and I gotta say, it works. There's shape to it. Can you see it? It's not the sturdiest thing in the world. I feel like I say that a lot about my DIYs, but it's good enough for me. What I'm worried about is, will I be able to maintain the tension and do what I want to do? I also need to hide this gold that I've now put in. Let's tie a knot. Let's double knot it. I think the best way to do it is to do one loop, then go back up. Already I can see I'm making it bow in a not so great way. Do you see? And then if we just keep it tight, then you'll have like a knit lamp. I just need to make sure that it is even so it doesn't look wonky. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed with myself because this clearly is not going to work. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and start over, figure something else out. That's fine. It's all part of the DIY process. I do like how it looks, but the thing is I just can't maintain the tension. Ooh! And like I just keep pulling harder and harder and it's getting shorter and shorter. So I started off at like 8 inches on this side. And then by the time I got to this side, it was like only 6 inches long. Not great. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We'll figure something else out. Good morning, it is a new day and I think I figured out how to fix my little lamp problem. So new plan, we will no longer be weaving a lampshade onto the lamp. We will instead try to make one of those knife pleat paper lamps. It'll make sense as we go along. Let's get started. I am going to be attempting to use this old watercolor paper. I know what you're thinking, that's kind of wasteful, but this paper is expired. If you didn't know, do not hoard watercolor paper, it expires. I have the original lampshade here that I still have. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna make like little knife pleats all along this paper. I know I'm gonna need at least maybe 3 times the length of this much paper, which I do have. And I want it to be bigger, top and bottom, so as to cover like the top and bottom of this. Wouldn't it be really cute if it was like those big paper lamp shades with the pleats, but then like huge, like around this whole thing, which will cover most of the base, which means I probably don't have to paint it. So I'm gonna attempt to do that. I think it would be easier if I reattach this shade onto our skeleton of a lampshade over here to create our lampshade again. I really shouldn't have taken it apart the first time around. And then attach the pleats onto the lampshade. So what you will need is cutting board or ruler. We're probably gonna need a pencil to mark our 1-inch lines, and then something blunt but solid enough to score your lines so you can fold them. This is quite big, so I'm gonna cut it in half and then work this way and have like a really long strip, and then pleat everything and then attach it together with double-sided tape. So I got about halfway through this sheet when I realized this is like doing twice the work, I think, if that makes sense, because like I'm gonna line it and then I'm gonna score it. So what if instead of lining it with pencil, we just score it and then that'll be our marker. I think I'm actually gonna start folding this one sheet just because I honestly need a little encouragement before I keep going. Okay, so I've folded about 3 of the sheets and I did a quick measure against the lampshade, and I think this is actually more than enough material to cover everything. And my carpal tunnel is acting up a little bit, so I think I shall stop here. Woo. It has been a lot of folding, guys. So I'm gonna cut off this last sheet. Okay. While I was testing it out earlier, I actually got really excited because it looked so good around like in a lampshade shape. So really excited about that. But the folds really need to be like set in there. Otherwise, it's hard to keep it even when you're arranging it around the lampshade. So I am going to squish these under some books, or maybe use some books to smoosh it together like so it stays in place more or less. So while this is setting in place, I am going to get the original lampshade back onto its ring so we have something to attach this onto. Here's the plan. I'm going to tell you the plan now because once this gets going, I tend to panic and then I forget to speak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue gun down this side, the smaller side of the lampshade, the top part. And then this is the top. My gosh, I should have cleaned this before I started. This is the top part. And then you just stick it and then roll, roll, roll. And then I already have pins ready, clothespins ready to hold it in place. Yes. In my mind, this should work seamlessly. Let us see. Okay, here goes nothing. We can do this. Here goes nothing. This cord is so short. Oh no. Okay, cord's too short. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, hang on. Oh no. No! Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. We'll just, oh no, we'll just clean up the mess later. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. All of this is gonna get covered up anyway. Okay. Oh, come on. Now! Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You got this, don't worry. You got this. Ta-da, ta-da-da-da-da. The question is, will it stay? I've done something wrong. I don't know why the bottom ring doesn't fit. It's just a little too big. But like, I put it back the way it came. Oh well. I mean, do I need the bottom ring? Maybe I don't even, right? OMG. Look at her. She's so cute. Okay. Think. I need to find a way to attach this in place. I really don't want to use the glue gun. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a light bulb in this thing so I can see what it looks like with the light on. Light bulb in and... Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna turn off the lights of the room so I can see it better. I can still kind of see the shade underneath, which, you know what, I'm not mad about. You can see the seam here. That's cool though, no? Hang on, if I turn off my studio light, will you be able to see it better? Will I be able to see it better? Ooh, I don't actually mind that you can see like a little bit of the swirl pattern underneath. It's kind of cool. Look at that. Okay, I've come up with a game plan, sort of. What I want to do now is I'm gonna take some double-sided tape and then put it all along here and then slide this in and slowly peel the tape off to attach the paper onto the lamp. It's not really sticking. My plans. Okay, plan B. I'm gonna be brave. I'm going to make a stack of books here where the lampshade can rest because it's gonna be floating a little bit for a while, and I will try my best to very, very, very carefully glue it on to this lampshade. I'm gonna need more books. I've balanced it. I've found the 4 corners. I'm gonna go in with the glue gun and hope that it works. Wow, this is an angle, yeah? That's the thing. I think it's my glue gun that's the problem. I wait for it to heat up, and then once it heats up, it just doesn't stop oozing, even when you put it down. So glue just gets everywhere. First thing I did was I did the corners, half, then I did half of the half. And now what I'm gonna do is go the middle of that and the middle of that. That way all the pleats are evenly spaced. I'm covered in sweat. The inside does not look the prettiest. It kind of looks like some crazy spider's web going on. I tried to keep the glue gun on the inside as much as possible because I didn't want it to touch the outside of the paper and ruin it. And I only burned myself 1 time, so in my book, that is a success. Look at her. What? You know, it's a good DIY when I have to turn my entire studio inside out to get it done. She's holding. She's a little lopsided, but that is not my fault. This lamp has always been lopsided. I think it worked. Should I glue it some more? Probably. Do I want to? Maybe not right now. I think I shall take this as a win and leave it for now. Let's style it so we can see what it looks like. People knew her by her will to make it whatever she put her mind to. Late night hours up the hill, serving coffee to strangers, talking about revenue. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for everyone, but she knew it must rain before it grows. She kept dreaming. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. It didn't go exactly how I had in mind, but I'm happy I was able to pivot and problem solve along the way, and I still accomplished everything I set out to accomplish at the beginning of this video. I wanted to breathe new life into that lamp so it wouldn't go to waste, and I wanted to make use of excess supplies that I had hoarded over the years, and I accomplished both those things. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! I remember her in songs, decades old, but it doesn't matter.